Hello students, good morning to everyone. This is M. Bujibabu, working as a chemistry lecturer in Vignan Cooperative Junior College, Vadlamudi. So in this morning session, I would like to explain a new topic to you. So in last 7 videos, I did complete 7 videos about solid state of intermediate second year. So this is another new chapter for you, that is nothing but chemistry in everyday life. Chemistry in everyday life. So there are many regular applications in our daily life regarding to the chemistry. So actually it is a general topic to you, some very interesting. So in every day we are getting from our bed and at last night we are also, before going to the sleep, we have did many type of activities are there. So in every activity we are applying some chemistry applications are there. You know that very well. So that whole concept given by this one is, that is chemistry in everyday life. So in everyday life there is a more essentiality of chemistry, especially for everyday we are using different types of soaps and shampoos and deodorants. So all these are all made up of some chemicals. And especially in chemistry in everyday life we are discussing about many types of drugs and chemicals. Drugs and medicines. So what are drugs and what is meant by medicine? How the different types of drugs can be used in the diagnosis of different diseases. So therefore we are using so many different types of medicines for curing different types of diseases, even the fever, cold, cough, and some neurological defects. So in every disturbance of the organ, so the doctor prescribed a suitable drug or medicine to prevent that disease. So therefore in this chapter also, in chemistry in everyday life, this chapter gives the total information about so how many types of drugs are there and which type of drug is suitable for the curation of the particular disease. Okay, and also and the action of the drugs and what are the compounds like proteins and nucleic acids, how they are affected in our body diagnosis system. And also this is about very information about the transformation of message from one neuron to another neuron presenting in our cells of the body. So this total information gives in chemistry in everyday life. So this is especially in IP examination pattern, there are this weightage is 4 marks weightage. So either 4 marks question is coming out, or otherwise 2 marks questions are given from this chapter chemistry in everyday life. So it is very important notification to you, especially in objective pattern in chemistry in everyday life. In previous year, last year JEE question and this type of and this new year 2020 year and 2019 years, definitely one question asked from this chemistry in everyday life because on the structures. So structures of different types of drugs. So especially asked the integer type questions. How many number of carbon atoms are presenting in celadon? How many number of chiral carbons are presenting in aspartame? So first of all we have to know the name of the drug, but it is also necessary and important notice for you, we have to also learn the structure of that drug also. So the questions will ask basing on their structure only, not first of all is the fundamental, we have to know the name of that drug, and the secondary thing is the structure of the drug. It is need to know the structure of the drug and what is the arrangement of the drug structure and how many number of chiral carbons are presenting there, how many types of bonds are there, like bonds, or what type of forces are present between them, what type of molecular forces are affected, what type of chiral carbons are there. So every information is presenting in that in objective pattern also. So it is a very easy chapter, but it is a very complicated questions asked from this chemistry in everyday life, especially for JEE main questions like integer type questions. So come to the contents what are present in this video. Or content present regarding to this video are, first of all, drugs and medicine. So what is meant by drug and what is meant by medicine? So how can we define the given compound is a drug and how can it can be used in the diagnosis of different diseases? And second one, classification of drugs, and second one, classification of drugs. So how the drugs can be classified? How the drugs can be classified? So next one, drug target interaction. Drug target interaction. So how the drug and target interaction takes place. And next one, drug enzyme interaction. How the drug interact with the enzyme in our body. So the drug enzyme interaction. And finally, therapeutic action of different classes of drugs. Theoretical action of different classes of drugs. How the drugs can be classified, everything. So come to the first one, drug. So what is meant by drug? The chemicals of low molecular masses that interact with macromolecular targets and produce a biological response are called drugs. So this is the exact definition of the drug. So what is meant by drug? The chemicals of low molecular masses, the chemicals which are having low molecular masses that interact with macromolecular targets, and produce a biological response are called drugs, that are known as drugs. And come to the next one about these drugs is when the biological response is therapeutic and useful, the chemicals are called medicines. So another definition for this one is medicine. So what is meant by medicine? The biological response is therapeutic and useful, the chemicals are called medicines. The chemicals which are useful for theoretical and useful and for biological response, that are called as medicines. So these are used in the diagnosis, prevention and treatment of different diseases. These medicines can be used in for the diagnosis process and the prevention and treatment of different diseases. Okay, and uses of chemicals for therapeutic effect is called chemotherapy. So that is the meaning of chemotherapy. So what is meant by chemotherapy? Uses of chemicals for therapeutic effect is called chemotherapy. So therefore, different types of chemicals can be used for the curation of the different diseases. Next one, classification of drugs. So first classification goes to on the basis of chemical structure. Drugs can be classified for the first category on the basis of chemical structure. So it is based on the chemical structure of the drugs. During classified in this way, share common structure, features, and often have similar pharmacological activity. So on the basis of the chemical structure, drugs may be classified. So for example, sulfonamide have common structural features. Sulfonamide. So this is a structure for the sulfonamide molecular structure. This is a basic example for the on the basis of the chemical structure. So it is based on the chemical structure of drugs. Drugs can be classified as share common structure features and have similar pharmacological activity. Best example is sulfonamide. This is the structure for the sulfonamide. An aromatic ring, one amino group, and here a sulfonamide group, SO2 and NH2 is present. And second one, on the basis of drug action. Second classification on the basis of the drug action. It is based on the action of a drug on a particular biochemical process. Example, all antihistamines inhibit the action of the compound histamine, which cause inflammation in the body. The second classification on the basis of drug action. So it is based on the action of a drug on a particular biochemical process, that are known as example, all antihistamines inhibit the action of the compound histamine, which cause inflammation in the body. So drugs which are used to inhibit the action of histamine are called antihistamines. These are best example for the basis of drug action. And third one, on the basis of pharmacological effect. So in pharmacological effect, this classification is based on pharmacological effect of the drug. This type of drugs are useful for the treatment of particular type of problem. Therefore, there is only a particular type of problem, such type of drugs can be used on the basis of pharmacological effect. So there is a suitable drug can be used for the separate curation for the individual disease. So this type of drugs are useful for the only treatment of particular type of problem. And next one, analgesics have pain killing. Analgesics have pain killing. Here best example, analgesics have pain killing effect. Antiseptics kill or prevent the growth of the microorganisms. So analgesics have pain killing effect. So analgesics are nothing but painkillers. Antiseptics kill or prevent the growth of microorganisms. So the drugs which are used to kill or prevent the growth of microorganism that are used for antiseptics. So for the kill or prevent the growth of the microorganisms, the drugs which are used called as antiseptics, and for pain killing purpose we have to use the drugs that are known as analgesics. That's why only for the pharmacological effect, based on the pharmacological effect, the suitable drugs can be used. And next one, on the basis of molecular targets. On the basis of molecular targets. So drugs usually interact with biomolecules such as carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids. So these are all called target molecules on drug target. So on next class question on the basis of molecular targets. Generally these drugs may interact with biomolecules like carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and nucleic acids. So these are all known as the drug molecular targets. So drugs possessing some common structural features may have the same mechanism of action on targets. Therefore, drugs possessing some common structural features may have the same mechanism of the action on targets. So we come to the next one, drug target interaction. So what is that? Drug target interaction. So macromolecules of biological origin perform various functions in the body. Proteins which perform the role of biological catalyst in the body are called enzymes. So drug target interaction means here the definition of the enzymes gives macromolecules of biological origin perform various functions in the body. Proteins which perform the role of biological catalyst in the body are called enzymes. So enzymes can be act as a catalyst in our body. Proteins which are crucial to communication system in the body are called receptors. Next definition, receptors. That is, receptors means proteins which are crucial to communication system in the body. The species which are useful to communication system in our body are called receptors. What is that? Receptors. Carrier proteins carry polar molecules across the cell membrane. So therefore carrier proteins carry polar molecules across the cell membrane. Nucleic acids have coded genetic information for the cell. So this is a very, very important. Nucleic acids have the coded genetic information for the cell. So the genetic information transferred from one cell to another cell through this nucleic acids. Lipids, carbohydrates are structural parts of the cell membrane. So lipids and carbohydrates are structural parts of the cell membrane. And come to the next one, enzymes of drug targets. So in enzymes of drug target, we have to see here, look at this image. In enzyme of drug targets, we have to see here, this is the shape of the enzyme. An enzyme, it has an active site. This is the shape of the enzyme. Enzyme have an active site. So therefore here, this is a substrate. That is nothing but reactant. So here enzyme plays mainly two roles. First one is it have a active surface area to hold the substrate. So to holding the substrate on the surface of the enzyme, it has a suitable active site that is appear in the image like this manner. So the holding of substrate on the active site of the enzyme, involving different types of bonding like molecular forces like hydrogen bonding forces or ionic forces. Different types of forces are present between the holding of a substrate on the surface of the active site. Therefore, enzyme holding substrate. So therefore, on the active side of the enzyme, substrate can be holding like this manner. So this is the first role of the enzyme. It has a free surface area, that is known as the active site, for holding the substrate on its surface. And second one is, the enzyme provides a separate functional group. The enzyme provides also a separate functional group which holds the reactant, which holds and react with the substrate, that is nothing but reactant. So these two major roles can be played by the enzyme. So what is that? First one, it holds the substrate on its surface by involving different types of forces. And second one is, this enzyme provides a different functional groups which are react with the substrate. And next one, drug enzyme interaction. Drug and enzyme interaction. So how the drug enzyme interaction takes place? Drugs which can block the binding size of the enzyme and prevent the binding of substrate or can inhibit the catalytic activity of the enzyme. Such drugs are called enzyme inhibitor. So this is important. So how the drug interact with the enzyme means, here the substances drugs are called as enzyme inhibitor. Enzyme inhibitor means the drugs which block the binding size of the enzyme to prevent the binding of substrate can inhibit the activity and catalytic activity of the enzyme. The drugs which are stop the activity of the catalytic activity of the enzyme. You know that very well, enzymes are biological catalysts. So the drugs which block the catalytic activity of enzymes are called as enzyme inhibitors. Next one, drugs inhibit the attachment of substrate. Drugs inhibit the attachment of substrate on active side of the enzymes in two different ways. So the drugs which inhibit the attachment of substrate on active side of the enzyme, it follows in two different ways. In that one, first one is drugs compete with the natural substrate for their attachment on the active side of the enzyme. Such drugs are called competitive inhibitor. So this is the first classification. Competitive inhibitor means that drugs compete with the natural substrate for their attachment on the active side of the enzyme. Only active side of the enzyme is the role played. Such type of called competitive inhibitor. So look at this diagram. In it one, this is enzyme. It have an active site and this is the substrate. Drug and substrate competing for active site. This is a drug competing with the active site of the enzyme. So therefore, drugs and substrate competing for active site of enzyme here. Therefore, so drug block the active site of the enzyme. Drug block the actually active site of the enzyme hold the substrate. Active site of the enzyme hold the substrate. But here drug plays a main role. This is a competitive inhibitor. Here drug plays a role which do not block the substrate on the active site of the enzyme. Therefore, there is a meaning drug blocks the active site of the enzyme. Therefore, in place of the active site of the enzyme, here substrate is actually holding, but the drugs doing a work, it stop the blocking of substrate on the active site of the enzyme. In place of substrate, the drug will be blocking the active site of the enzyme. And come to the next one, some drugs do not bind the enzymes active sites. These bind to a different site of enzyme which is called allosteric site. So in previous image you have to see the drug block the drug block only the active site of the enzyme, but some of the drugs may not block the active site of the enzyme, but the different site, they bind a different site of enzyme which is called allosteric site, like this manner. So look at this image, this is the enzyme. So this is a yellow active site, but so in that bottom of the enzyme, this is the allosteric site. This is the inhibitor. So therefore, active site with the changed shape and inhibitor occupying allosteric site. This is the inhibitor occupying the allosteric site. So here you have to notice the two important points. In case 1, competiting inhibitor, the drug only block the active site of the enzyme. But here, in case of allosteric site, the enzyme, the inhibitor which block the allosteric site. So basing on the inhibitor occupying this allosteric site, the enzyme may change its shape. The enzyme may change its shape. So active site will change its shape. So here the shape of the enzyme is different from these two figures. Here this is the one of the active site of the enzyme, but this is another active site of the enzyme. But its shape is different from this one, because due to the inhibitor occupying the allosteric site, so the enzyme changes its shape. After inhibitor occupying the allosteric site, the enzyme gain its original shape. So this is the difference between this image and this image. Come to the next one. Receptors as drug targets. Receptors as drug targets. So receptors are proteins that are circular to body communication process. Receptors are proteins. Receptors as drug targets. Receptors are nothing but proteins. They circular to body communication process. Majority of these are embedded in cell membrane. Okay. Receptors proteins are embedded in the cell membrane. So look at this image. This is the animal cell. Small part of the cell membrane, plasma membrane. This one is. So this is the shape of the cell. Interior of the cell. Okay. Look at clearly. You have to see in the cell membrane. Interior of the cell, and this is a receptor. Proteins can act as a receptor, and this is the inner surface of cell membrane. In that cell, this is the inner surface, and this is the outer surface of cell membrane. So this is the cell membrane. In that cell membrane, number of cells are there. This is the interior part of the cell, and this is the receptor and protein. This receptor protein from small part of the cell membrane, inner surface of the cell membrane, and outer surface of the cell membrane. So in every cell membrane, it has some binding site of, so this is act as a receptor. So it has some active site, that is a binding site of the receptor. Generally, the message may be transferred from one neuron to another neuron in a different molecules through these receptors. And come to the next one. Receptors as drug targets. These receptors can be used as a drug target. So look at this image. In that image also we have to see three types of images are there. Here this is also inner part of the cell, and this is the inner surface area of the cell membrane, and this is a binding site, and this is a chemical messenger. This pink color, this is a mentioned as the chemical messenger, and this is the binding site. So image A, B, C are here. So receptor receiving chemical messenger. Here receptor. So receptor can be protein, can be act as a receptor. This receptor receiving chemical messenger. So the chemical messenger may take the message from one neuron to another neuron. That messenger can binding on the fit into the binding site of the receptor. Okay, are you understand? So image A, receptor receiving chemical messenger. Receptor receiving chemical messenger. This chemical messenger brings some information from one neuron to another neuron. So therefore, this messenger will be fitting onto the binding site of the receptor. Okay, and the image B gives shape of the receptor changed after attachment of messenger. Okay, so after when this messenger binding on the site of the receptor, so the shape of the receptor will be changed. This is a message will be passing from the cell. When the messenger actually binding or deposited or fitting into the site of the messenger receptor, therefore the shape of the, look at this shape is two different shape. Here messenger not fit into the site, binding site, but here this messenger fitting into the binding site of the receptor. Therefore, in third image gives the information receptor regains structure after removal of chemical messenger. Here the messenger will be removable, therefore automatically this receptor gain its original structure as in figure number 1. Okay. Okay, are you understand? These three figures A, B, C gives. In figure A, chemical messenger ready to binding on the site of the receptor, and second one image B, this messenger fitting on the binding site, therefore the shape of the receptor changes. And third one, after removing of messenger, the shape of the receptor gain its original shape. So therefore therapeutic action of different classes of drugs. So I already mentioned, therefore different types of drugs can be used for the treatment of different diseases. In that one, first one is antacids. What is that? Antacids. So antacids means substance which neutralize the excess acid and raise the pH to appropriate level in the stomach are called antacids. Very simple. Antacids means the substances or drugs which are remove excess of acid present in our stomach, that are known as antacid. Removal of excess acid producing in and maintain the normal pH value, that are known as antacid. So these are the best example for the antacid, that is ranitidine. The gastric trouble tablets. Ranitidine. This is the structure of the ranitidine, and second one is structure of cimetidine, tacmate or cimetidine. This is ranitidine, cimetidine, and histamine. So this is the structure for the histamine. These three are best example for the antacids drugs. Okay, students understand? Antacids means the drugs which are used to remove excess of acid presenting in our stomach and maintain normal pH value. The best example for the antacid is ranitidine and cimetidine and histamine. So these three are best example for the antacids. And come to the next one, antihistamines. So what are antihistamines? So antihistamines are used to treat high fever, rash, hives. So what rise, runny noise, itching and sneezing due to all allergies or the common cold and insect bites and stings. So they may also be used to treat motion sickness and anxiety or a sleep aid. So these antihistamines are used for the different situations, for a high fever, rash and sneezing purpose and cold purpose and anxiety purpose and or a sleep aid purpose. So all these different types of activities these drugs can be used. So the best example are this for antihistamines are bromophenramine. So this is the structure for the bromophenramine. And next one is terfenadine. So terfenadine and bromophenramine are best example for the antihistamines. Come to the next one, tranquilizers. So what are tranquilizers? So tranquilizers means the drugs which are employed in the treatment of mental disorder are called tranquilizers. That are tranquilizers. The drugs which are used to treatment of, and also can be said that the drugs which are used in the treatment of mental disorder means psychosis and neurosis. The drugs which are used in the treatment of psychosis and neurosis are also called as tranquilizers. These substances relieve anxiety. And tension without producing sedation. When we give these tranquilizers, the person who are getting more anxiety and more stress, so therefore when give this tranquilizer tablet, the person may get relief and losing his tension, and a person get freeness. So the drugs which are used in the treatment of psychosis and neurosis, and for the treatment of psychosis and neurosis, the drugs can be used that are nothing but tranquilizers, may get relief and producing and cool and calmness to the body of the person. So best example for these tranquilizers are chlorodiazopoxide. This is a structure for this one. This in examination pattern also these structures may ask for. So how many number of nitrogen atoms are present in chlorodiazopoxide? So such type of questions are asked in objective pattern also. Therefore it is necessary we know the examples for the antacids or tranquilizers or whatever it may be. So it is a necessary condition to know the structure of different types of drugs, identify what type of rings are there and what type of number of atoms are presenting there. And next one, Equanil. Equanil. So this is a section for the equanil and meprobamate, meprobamate and equanol. These two are the best example for the tranquilizers. So knowing the structure and what type of atoms are presenting there, everything is very very important. I already mentioned many number of JEE main questions asked from this chapter basing on their only structures. Okay, without knowing the structure we can't answer that such type of questions. So to knowing the name of that drugs, and also it is necessary to draw the structure. If you know the drawing of the structure, we don't know what number of carbon atoms there, how many number of oxygen atoms are there. So it is very very important in objective pattern. Okay students, so once I recall in this session, so especially for this one is chemistry in everyday life. This is a general topic to you. In this general topic we know the drugs and medicines and classification of the drugs, how many types of drugs are there, and drug enzyme interaction and receptor, what is meant by messengers, how the message will be transferred from one neuron to another neuron, and theoretical action of different drugs, like a few drugs are we known in this video like antacids and antihistamines. In next coming up video we will know many number of drugs and their uses. Okay, thank you students, thank you very much.